What is going on, guys? BriarRabbit here. Today I want to show you guys a little bit of Halo, the Master Chief Collection. This is a pretty damn cool game. There is a ton of stuff here. There are hours and hours of gameplay, but there are some real issues to this game too. So the first thing I want to do is kind of show you what's involved, what this game includes. And the first thing you're going to notice right off the bat is that we have all four of the main Halo campaigns. So Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3, and Halo 4. You also get multiplayer from all four games, and it uses the original engines from all four games. And there is a ton of stuff. There's over 100 different maps in the multiplayer. It's crazy. You can, just use matchmaking. You can set up custom games. You can even use Forge to kind of create your own levels. You really just modify the levels that are already there. It's got a theater mode. I mean, it's really got a ton of stuff. You can go into playlists here where it just kind of, it tells you all like the coolest playlists. Like, let's go into the Halo 2 playlist here. You can just go through all the Arbiter missions, only the Master Chief's missions, fan favorites, boss fights, that kind of stuff. So if you're just in the mood for a little bit of Halo, you've already played Halo 2 or Halo 3, you can just get to the stuff that you want very, very easily. I think that is really cool. I've never seen that in one of these before. There's also some, career stuff. You can set up your player ID, you can customize your characters, that kind of stuff. And then there's some extras as well. If you end up buying this, you get into the Halo Nightfall beta right away. There's some videos here, credits, that kind of stuff. So that'll be great. I can't wait. Or, I'm sorry, when I said Halo Nightfall, what I really meant was the Halo 5 beta. Halo Nightfall is something different. There's actually a Halo Nightfall trailer there. So let's do a little bit of the Halo 2 Anniversary, because that is the newest thing. What's included is the Halo Anniversary Edition and the Halo 2 Anniversary Edition. The first Halo game Anniversary Edition came out a couple of years ago for the Xbox 360. It was a big step up for Halo. If you'd never played it before, or if you still haven't played it, it's definitely worth going back to. It does feel a little bit antiquated because, there's nothing like sprinting. You're not aiming down sights unless you're using a sniper rifle or the pistol. It does feel a little bit old. Halo 2, this is a brand new, fresh, re-envisioning of Halo 2. It takes all the same geometry that was in the original game, but really spruces it up. And I'm going to show you that. I'm also going to show you a cutscene. I'm going to warn you, there's some minor story spoilers in the cutscene. So if you really haven't seen any Halo 2 before, you're not going to want to watch this cutscene. I'll put a link I'll put a note down in the description of this video to tell you when the cutscene actually ends, so you can just skip right through it, and you can just see the gameplay. But I want to show you the cutscene because it looks phenomenal. And they actually added some stuff to the cutscene. So let's start it up here. What I'm actually going to do is go to... we're going to go to the missions here, and I'm actually going to choose the Delta Halo mission, which I believe I've already got selected. There we go. And then it's going to give you some options. You can choose your options. You can choose your difficulty. I'll go with normal. You can turn skulls on, which is nice. I have the Grunt Birthday Party skull on. If you don't have that on, you're basically playing Halo wrong. So we're going to get this started up. Again, there are some spoilers in the cutscene. So if you've never played Halo before, if you don't know anything about Halo 2, there are some stuff that will, they'll tell you what's happening in the story. But basically, if you've ever seen a Halo commercial, a Halo 2 commercial, there's nothing in this cutscene that you're not going to be familiar with. So I'm going to let this load up. And we'll watch the cutscene, and I'll come back after the cutscene.
Report! Both engine cores have spun to zero. We're drifting.
Archer pods are cold. I'll need to rekey the system.
Do it and find out where we are. Sorry for the quick jump, Sergeant. You in one piece?
I'm good. Yeah. Chief?
We're fine.
Ma'am, there's an object coming into view now.
Cortana, what exactly am I looking at? That is another Halo.
Say what?
So this is what my father found. I thought Halo was some sort of super weapon.
It is. If activated, this ring will cause destruction on a galactic scale.
I want all the information you've got on the first Halo, schematic, topography, whatever. I don't care if I have the clearance or not.
Yes, ma'am.
Where's our target?
The enemy ship is stopped above the ring, ma'am. We're going to pass right over it.
Perfect. Given what we know about this ring, it's even more important that we capture the Prophet of Regret. Find out why he came to Earth, why he came here. Chief, take first platoon. Hard drop. Secure our landing zone. Sergeant, load up 2 flights of Pelicans and follow them in.
Aye, aye, ma'am.
Until I can move and fight, I'm going to keep a low profile. Once you leave the ship, you're on your own.
Understood.
Over the target in 5.
Hang on to your helmet. Mind the bump. Could we possibly make any more noise? I guess so.
All right, so tell me that's not a cool ass cutscene. I mean, it is just, it gets you so amped for the game. And that was what Bungie used to really kind of be known for, is like, you know, they had this really fun gameplay, but they also had this epic story that really got you amped to keep playing the game. And I think one of the problems with Destiny is that they just didn't kind of bring that epic storyline that people were just so used to with Halo. You know, people who really got into the Halo campaign, I think those were the people who were most disappointed with Destiny. If you've ever played a Halo game, Destiny definitely felt very familiar for you. So I don't want to talk about Destiny this whole time. Really what I want to talk about is Halo. And, you know, Halo 2, still fun. Halo 1, still fun. All the Halo games, I think, you know, they really hold up. They do, I guess they feel a little antiquated just because, you know, there's some functionality that's just not there. You'll notice that I never aim down sights because I'm using a submachine gun. And, you know, that's really informed by the fact that they don't have that mechanic in the game. That's something that really was introduced later by other games. And Halo really resisted that for a long time. I think the newest Halo Guardians game is going to have that to some extent, but you're not going to have to rely on it. So this is the Needler. One of the great things about this game is that you're constantly switching weapons. You run out of ammo for whatever weapon you bring, and then you have to switch weapons to whatever you can find. And the Covenant weapons are really fun. They really are fun. So the graphics, I think, look pretty damn good. This is the Anniversary Edition. When you compare them here, you can switch them on and off. This is the original graphics. Now, it's up-res to 1080p. You know, Halo 2 never looked this good on an Xbox, that's for sure. However, you know, it's certainly not unplayable, but it's definitely more enjoyable with the up-res graphics. For the most part, they left all the geometry exactly the same. They just changed the textures and the resolution. So I have been able to pop into it. We have a dropship coming down. They're going to drop off some enemies. I think we got to do 2 waves of dropships, and then we'll get a Warthog. And I do want to show you the Warthog because it's an awful lot of fun. And if you're not familiar with the Halo franchise, you definitely want to get to check that stuff out. The Needler is a cool weapon. Basically, you shoot it at people. It sticks into them, and then once there's a bunch of them in them, all the needles explode, taking them out. I am running out of shields, so I'm gonna... Oh, already recharged. You know, the core combat of Halo has always been very fun. They always have known how to, like, set up these encounters, cool locations. You know, the whole Halo kind of mechanic is just... It's very cool. They kind of set up these confrontations that are just like... You know, they're 5 minutes of fun, and then you move on, and then there's another 5 minutes of fun, and it's just a lot of fun. So if you've never played any of the Halo games, this is actually a really cool package because you get all 4 of like the main campaigns, which are still fun. You know, they look a little old and dated, but certainly it's better to play the Anniversary Edition, as you can see here. Alright, so we got another dropship coming. I'm going to take these guys out. Hide just behind this tree here until this dropship goes away. You'll notice, though, if you've played Destiny, that a lot of the stuff feels very, very familiar, from Destiny to Halo and back and forth. You know, having these dropships come in, very familiar. Guys with shields, you know, elites are going to look a lot like guys that you see in Destiny. In the later games, I don't think the brutes... Are the brutes in Halo 2? I gotta pick up a weapon here. I can't remember if they showed up in... Oh, we got a guy with a sword here. So you do have to be careful. You know, they'll get you. Take this guy out. He's bugging me. The weapon designs are really cool. You know, compare that design to the new one. I mean, it just, there's so much more detail. Where'd that red guy go? Oh, there he is. That's what I was just saying. The enemies have personality. The grunts are hilarious. The elites talk to you. I'm not sure if the elites talked in the first Halo game. I can't seem to get this guy dead. Oh, and I'm out of ammo. See if I can just melee him. There we go. Alright, and I think that's it. So now we gotta wait for our dropship. Oh, there's a sword there. I don't think that's gonna be very useful. That battle rifle will definitely be useful, though. I think, is there still guys around? Oh, it looks like there's more in here.
You can't hide from me! You bastard!
Alright, so that's what the birthday party does. If you get a headshot on a grunt, his head explodes into confetti. And you just hear the cheering. Alright, so we're just waiting for the Pelicans to come in now. Another thing I noticed right off the bat with playing the Anniversary Edition of Halo 2 is that they also really changed the sound. So I'm gonna... This is the original sound.
Here comes that ride!
And this is the new. You see, there's just more detail to it. The music sounds a little bit better. The voices sound a little bit better. And these dropships definitely sound a little bit better. So I find it fun to kind of switch between the old. That's old. That's new. Old, new. You know, you see like the light bloom.
It looked like a temple. If I were a
I don't know. It's cool looking. And if you're a fan of Halo, I think this is worth checking out just to kind of revisit what you liked most about Halo. And if you're new to the Halo series, I think it's pretty cool too. I don't think I'm going to get big into the multiplayer at this point. You know, I checked it out. The matchmaking is working somewhat. It's very, very slow to make matches. But at this point, you know, with Destiny out and with Advanced Warfare out, it just feels so old and kind of slow that I just don't see myself putting much time into it. I really picked up this game just for the campaign. The nice thing about the multiplayer, though, is that they did keep the engines. So if there are certain aspects that you really love, like the pistol from Halo 1, then they're there, and you can still use them. So like if you want to play Tombstone with the pistol, that's there. And that used to be one of my favorite things to do in Halo Champion or Combat Evolved. So as you can see, the Warhog is cool as hell. You can man the turret if you want, or you can have AI do it for you. I like to drive. I guess I'm a control freak like that. And this is it's a beautiful looking game. And there's a tank shooting at us, so we're gonna get out of here.
There's one.
Banshees here.
Yeah, nailed
We're just gonna clear out this building. There's that confetti pop again. It does feel weird not being able to aim down sights at this point. You know, I'm just so used to it from almost every game I play that hip firing all the time, I don't know, it just feels odd. There's a button right here. You see a tank over there taking pot shots at us. I do have a rocket launcher. I pretty much saved that for this encounter. Oh, you can see they're driving around in the Warthog.
Roger that. Bombers on the way.
Oh. Right, I'm pretty sure I can zoom in. Closer to use the lock-on. There we go. So the missile launcher has a lock-on feature, which is nice. And I think it's 2 rockets to kill those guys. Alright, so I already played with the Warthog, so I'm going to jump on. I think these vehicles are called Banshees. Oh, are they all destroyed? They are. So we'll take the tank instead. Tanks are fun. And that was one of the cool things about the Halo franchise back in the day, is that the vehicles were just so cool. The tanks, the Warthogs, the Banshees. Actually, I think I just shot down the Banshee. I think it's a Ghost that are the ones that stay on the ground. The Ghosts and the Sparrows, like in Destiny, are going to be immediately familiar. The one thing I will say about playing these older Halo games is that they do tend to move kind of slow. Not story-wise, but actually like the physical aspect of moving around. We're just going to wipe out everybody with this tank. I am not going to bore you with this entire level. Instead, what I think is we'll move out of here, and I'll show you a little bit of the first Halo as well. So the first Halo, I actually really love. When it came out on the original Xbox, it was a launch game for the original Xbox. I was blown away. It was completely different from anything I'd ever played. Up to that, the best console shooter probably was GoldenEye, almost definitely. But Halo just changed everything. So let's choose a mission in Halo. Which one should I choose here? Probably, you know what? Just go to the first one. So there's the Pillar of Autumn, which is kind of a boring mission. You're on a ship. When you're first introduced to the Halo, though, it's very cool. And we'll just play this for a couple minutes just so you can see how it looks on the Xbox One. And what I'll do is I'll load it up here. And once the loading screen is done, I'll come back. So there is a loading screen that you guys aren't... Well, you're seeing it now, but I'm going to skip the loading screen and I'll be back in a sec.
We're coming in too fast. Damn, air brake failure. They blew too early. I'm losing her. Brace for impact.
Chief? Chief, can you hear me? At last. Are you all right? Can you move? Yeah, there's the impact. There's nothing we can do.
Alright, so this is basically your first introduction to a Halo in the first game. And this is the Anniversary Edition. As you can see, it's got upgraded graphics. You can switch them off, and it's a big difference. You know, this game looks spectacular on the Xbox when it first came out. It doesn't really hold up that well. But the game is still fun, and if you've never played it, it's worth playing to get kind of the epicness of the story, and just like... You know, it's just still a fun game. It's a funny thing because somehow they made, you know, a shooter kind of feel more open world than it ever had before, and the mechanics are just so much fun to play on. The guns feel fun. Now it feels dated. You know, definitely it feels dated. Here's this pistol that I love so much. take out these banshees. The pistol is completely OP in this game. in multiplayer as well. You basically have no recoil in this game. And I think these guys are going to start attacking from over this bridge. So I'm going to... Oh, he fell off. You see, that's a pistol doing that. I mean, it's crazy. Alright, so let's move on a little bit here. I just want to get up to, like, kind of the first encounter. This was insane. I mean... Going back, there's real nostalgia here for me because playing this game when it came out, it was absolutely mind-blowing, even with these graphics. To see it here kind of looking better. I missed out on the first anniversary edition. I just didn't pick it up for whatever reason. But it's really cool to pick it up now. Ah, there's that headshot. You know, even looking at that gun animation, there's no way there'd be no recoil on that gun, right? But it doesn't move at all. Let's see. Same. I think it's the same. There we go. I'm trying to catch up to that guy. I can't catch up to him. No sprint. You know, no aiming down sight, especially with this gun. With the pistol, you can. Obviously, you've seen that before. You click in the stick to do it, depending on your control scheme. And that's Halo. You know, you get introduced to the Warthog in this level, which is very cool. The Warthog was so hard to control before you got used to it.
Lifeboat beacon over the next hill. We should check to see if there are any survivors.
And the brilliance of this game, I think, you know, besides the story, which was just so much fun to play through, was that even though these levels are relatively linear, they almost felt like open and like you could kind of do whatever you wanted. You know, it was really a stunning game in its day. So as far as recommendations go, like, should you pick this game up? I think it's got a limited audience. You know, there's an awful lot of content here, but a lot of it is very, very old content. If you're into Halo, if you kind of want to relive these memories, oh, sorry, buddy. Then yeah, I mean, definitely, it's still fun. I'm playing Combat Evolved right now. I'm having fun doing it, even while I'm talking. If you're brand new to the Halo franchise, but you're interested in kind of learning the story and kind of figuring out what it was all about, then again, yeah, I would check it out. But if you played a lot of Halo 2, you're not that into it anymore, or maybe you kind of skipped out maybe in Halo 3 or Halo 4. I don't know, it's a little harder decision. I'm not that big into the multiplayer anymore. I used to play a ton of Halo 2 multiplayer. I used to play a ton of Halo 1 multiplayer. But now, it just feels dated. There's so much strong competition from games like Advanced Warfare and Destiny that I don't really feel the need to jump into the multiplayer anymore. Oh, God, you gotta love that confetti. And the screaming children. It's amazing how good this game still feels, honestly. You know, the animations may look a little antiquated, but this pistol is still absolutely a badass gun. So that's going to wrap it up. My recommendation is, if you're interested in it, definitely check it out. There's enough content here. Be aware there are some bugs. I've had some game crashes, some freezes. The multiplayer matchmaking for some people just has not worked at all so far. 343 Studios has been out there saying, you know, we're fixing this immediately. We're doing it server side. So hopefully they get it fixed right away. Today I was able to join a couple of multiplayer games. They worked fine. It wasn't an issue. It was just very, very slow matchmaking. So be aware of that. And my recommendation is, if you're interested, pick it up. If you're not interested, you know, obviously there's nothing here that's going to change your mind about Halo, because it's still old Halo. Halo Guardians is coming out next year, And, you know, that's really what I'm looking forward to seeing is, like, what is 343 going to do with their second Halo game? You know, now that they've had a chance with Halo 4 to kind of learn what people like and don't like, are they going to be able to capitalize on it? And that's where I'm really looking forward to seeing. So, thank you guys for watching. Let's try and get one more parties. There we go. That makes me laugh every time. Yeah. Is there one more over here? See, that's what I mean. If you're playing this game without that on, you're playing it wrong. So I'm going to wrap this one up. Thanks you guys very much for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.